FightHype.com on location with the former undisputed 135 champion, George Kambosos. We're heading into an Australian winter, preparing for an American summer. What's been happening?
Just grinding away, man. Putting in work. I think last time we spoke, I was doing the same, putting in work, but obviously we're lifting everything up a lot more now. We're very close to a big announcement. I know the fans, very excited to see my return and come back after, the two Haney fights. So we're getting very close. Hopefully we get this announcement done and everything across the line, very soon.
Just a lazy 8-9 rounds today, not even hitting camp. What are you learning more about yourself as you revitalise the comeback of Ferocious?
I feel good, man. I feel, very refreshed, as you can see today.
Very sharp.
We've been sparring heaps. We've been doing a lot of work. We've been training every single day, twice a day. Everything that I'm doing, in the gym is perfect. I feel very good. I feel stronger, sharper, better than ever. So for me, just keep working hard and chipping away. And I'm looking forward to making a good statement real soon to show that I'm still here. The division is stacked, as we know. But only one guy has beat me, and that guy is obviously the undisputed champion, the guy at number one. So I'll be back.
A lot of talk around Maxi Hughes, whether it's in New York, Vegas, UK. What can you tell us where we're at? We're deep in negotiations. Where are you and the team at? And how close is that fight to being made? And where is it going to be?
Look, it's obviously everyone's saw the news with it being Maxi Hughes. Yes, we're going to fight. Obviously, we're still ironing out a few things on my side. I'm the big player, so obviously things take a little bit longer, but we'll get there. I'm very confident we'll get there. And yeah, we'll do it in Las Vegas. Las Vegas is a beautiful city, and I'm looking forward to fighting, there again. I have fought there before. I fought on the Pacquiao-Brown undercard, so I'm looking forward to headlining in Las Vegas and making a good statement, winning that IBF Eliminator, taking that IBO World title, add that to the collection, and moving forward. This guy's in my way to bigger and better things, but I'm very focused. On Maxi Hughes. I'm very motivated to make a good statement and show that we haven't gone anywhere. Just because I lost to one guy, it doesn't mean that all of a sudden, I'm done, I'm finished. And that's the thing, these fans, these guys, on social media. I said all the time, I'm thick-skinned. So for me, I've reached the top. I've won the belts. I've made a shitload of money from this sport, but you see these supposed fans ripping the fighters, and after a loss, they forget about him and say he's done, he's finished. I really wish we had the fans of the 80s and 90s, that kind of fans where, you had the Durans, the Haglers, the Leonards, the Hearns. They fought each other, one loss, 1-1. They all fought each other, and who cares about a win and a loss? You got the best fighting the best, action fights, wars. There's too many cowards in this world at the moment. There's too many cowards on social media, and hey, if you've never done it, if you've never been inside, the ring, if you've never put on a pair of hand wraps, if you've never been smacked in the mouth,
facts.
Keep your opinion to yourself, because your opinion doesn't matter. But like I said, I'm thick-skinned with that. But it's the younger guys. I said all the time that these fans are hammering young prospects, guys that are trying to make it, in boxing. And I've seen a lot of fighters turn their back on the sport and say, no, I can't do this no more, because of not the sport, but these certain fans, on social media saying, before you open your mouth, put yourself in the fighter's shoes.
Getting back to that division of 135 ESPN, and that brought it out last week, you sit inside the top 5 or 6 prospects still. Well, they're not prospects. You got the Haneys, the Lomas, Shakur.
I should be sitting at number 3 or 4, man.
Well, BoxRec have pushed you up.
Yeah, well, BoxRec, I'm in front of Devin Haney, so I don't know what's happened there. But
how do we work that out?
Hey, out of war deception, lose twice to get in front of him on BoxRec.
But look, like you just spoke about the Haglers, Duran, Hurts, Sugar Ray Leonard. Right now, Gervonta and Ryan, and we'll get to that in a second, but Gervonta and Ryan fought each other on the weekend. Yeah. Loma, if he did beat Haney, the circle between the 5 and 6 of yous over the next 3 years, we could see like 10 or 12 mega fights. Yeah, your take on all that?
Styles make fights. That's what these fans got to understand. Styles make fights. And just because a certain style is better than your style and gets the victory against somebody, doesn't mean that style can't come back and beat that other style. So we've got to see with Haney Lomachenko. That's a fantastic fight. I'm very excited for it. Obviously, we had on the weekend a great fight with Gervonta Davis, Ryan Garcia. Again, you see that everyone was so excited about the fight, and they made it happen, and Ryan's made this, all these efforts to make it happen, and Tank made it happen, and all of a sudden Ryan loses, and throw him to the side. Now you see it, the fans, it's like, what do you want? You want the best fight and the best, or you want cherry picks? But as soon as someone takes an L, you forget about him. So it's like, you want that old school mentality. You want the best fight and the best. And the division is so stacked. This is the best division in the world. I'm very excited to be very high up, in the division. And as a former, I'm coming back to get what's mine.
Not looking past Maxi Hughes, I know today very, very focused on him. But to yourself, do you see a fight with Lomachenko down the track? Do you see a potential fight with Shakur running it back? Look, do you see a potential fight with Gervonta Davis? Do you see that yourself, George, that could happen? And is that something that you want?
Look, I'm very focused on Maxi Hughes. That's all I'm interested in right now. But again, this is bigger than Maxi Hughes. This next fight. This is me, fighting the boxing world to show that, hey, we're still here. We're who we are. So I got a lot of motivation, a lot of inspiration, a lot of good momentum. Coming off these 3 big fights. My last 3 fights that I had with Lopez, Haney, but even before that, my last 5 opponents have been former world champions, undisputed champions. So this is very motivating to get this big win, make a good statement. He's a southpaw. There's a lot of southpaws in the division, and I'm looking forward to making a statement and fighting whoever. I'll bring on every challenger. But
George, you are undefeated over there. You've done some of the biggest things, if not the biggest thing in the sport, in America. A big statement over there, really showing to the American market that you're back there and you want to compete with these guys. Yeah,
look, the Australian market, obviously everyone knows what I've done here. I brought a beautiful stadium fight. That's what I always dreamt of doing. I was very humbled to do that. But for me now, I'm very focused to getting back to where I won my championship. I've never lost, in America, and I've never lost anywhere outside of Australia. So for me, I'm very motivated by going back, Las Vegas, and making a statement and showing that, hey, we're still here.
Gervonta versus Ryan on the weekend. We asked you last week your opinion on it. You were pretty close. You said the later rounds.
Yeah, I was literally 1 round off.
Yeah, I think you said 8, was it?
Yeah, I think it was 8, 9, 10.
Yeah.
But we'll pretend we said 7.
Your take on Ryan's obviously going down in the 2nd round, you know what I mean? Tank, not a lot of punch output, and then obviously the finish. There has been some question marks from the public, the media and everything, and the keyboard warriors. Did Ryan quit in that fight, and do you think that he could have gone on after he dropped down in the round 7?
Look, first of all, I've got to commend Ryan Garcia for pushing hard to make that fight happen. Again, commend Gervonta Davis as well for stepping in and making that fight happen. Big respect there. Now, as the fight went, it wasn't a super exciting fight. It was a smart fight. I think Ryan, got a little bit excited in round 2 where he felt like he was hurting him, hitting with some good shots, and then got caught. Tank is very smart at what he does. He's a guy that will line you up and catch you nice. After that, I think he went into his shot, Ryan Garcia, and it's just a matter of time. And I was watching with a few people, and I kept saying it's just a matter of time before he goes to sleep. But the way it happened, the finish, I know a body shot is a body shot, and they hurt, I get it. But could he have got up, went out on his shield? I believe so. He got up straight away since the ref said 10. And I'm not here disrespecting Ryan. Great kid, we've spoken many times, and there's respect there. He's got to go.
He knows that.
That's right. He's got to go through himself now and ask himself questions. Could I have got up? I know my side. If I got hit with a body shot, I'm going to do whatever it takes to get up, and then you can take my head off clean. I just felt that he should have got up. He could have got up and do whatever. Put your hands up and get knocked out. Whatever it is. Go out on your shield. It's a big fight. You might have gained a little bit more respect on that side where people won't have to question this, but who knows? It might have just been a really, really devastating body shot, and he was done.
What are your thoughts on him sort of saying, I'm going to have a couple of fights at 140 and dictate the rematch down the track? I don't. My opinion is he doesn't deserve a rematch because Tank will be the ace. So what's your thoughts on Ryan saying that?
Yeah, look, the public doesn't demand obviously a rematch. With that kind of fight. So at this point, he's going to go to 140. He's a very big name. And we'll see what happens with him, What's his confidence going to be like moving forward? Who's the guys, at 140 that he can fight? Obviously some big names there, so what kind of fights is he going to jump into? and then we'll have to see. You know, it's an interesting, you know, time in his life, but like I said, I'm focused on what I got to do. You know, he's coming off a loss, I'm coming off 2 losses against the number 1 division. So, you know, we'll see.
2 losses though, George. You didn't get knocked down. You didn't really get hurt. There was a question mark in the 10th round.
Yeah, look, I got hit with some good shots in round 10, but
I didn't see you.
I'm an animal, man.
Yeah, I didn't see like.
You know, and Devon saw it. I'm waving him on.
Well, he said
come on, hit me harder. You know, I remember a cool moment. He's landing some jabs, and I'm putting my hand like, come on, hit me. That was some raging bull. You know, Robert De Niro shit right there. That was, hey Ray, you never knocked me down. Hey Dev, you never knocked me down. But
what about when we go back to New York? And I know, you know, people say we harp on it a lot, but it was legendary day. T.O. knocks you down in round 10.
That's my favourite moment of my career. That moment when I got put down, not when I knocked him down or and the new or whatever, or walking out in front of 45,000 people. My best moment of my career is when I got knocked down.
Really?
Because at that stage there, I had to show what a fighter I am. That was make or break for me in my head. If I said to myself, you know what, I've done enough tonight, I knocked him down, I'm winning the fight, but obviously he caught me, it wasn't enough for me. I was prepared to die in that ring like I am every fight.
How hurt were you there, George, in that 10th round?
I wasn't hurt. I was obviously my equilibrium and, you know, when you get hit with a good shot, you know, everything's a little bit dizzy. Obviously my legs needed that time, but, you know, I showed a lot of maturity as well to be able to, you know, survive. I know he came flying out trying to take my head off once he put me down, but I was very smart with, you know, controlling myself and finding the range and hold what I have to hold. And I came back in the last 15, 20 seconds in that round, landed some good shots, and then come back round 11 and 12. Obviously, I know everyone's probably sick of hearing it, but I'll love that moment for the rest of my life.